Yo, freaking. Alright, I'm getting to the tier list now. So, Dragon Ball Project Multi tier list is for the Dragon Ball MOBA that is coming out, PC and mobile beta coming out tonight when this video drops. 11 p.m. PST, that is late as hell for anyone that's East Coast, and that's about morning time for Europe and even so on and so on. But yeah, and the USA is kind of screwed here. Um, if you have work the next day, RIP. I was gonna work the day of the release, but that changed. I kind of wish I worked the day of because it releases at 11 p.m. All right, so let's start this tier list off. We're gonna be going with probably, and this is to Goku. I think Goku. Let me open their Twitter so I can see. I can reference it. Give me a second. Give me a second. All right, let's scroll all the way to the bottom. All right, so we got Goku's. Use Kaioken to power up your active skills. Overwhelm any opponent with your heightened strength. He's a DPS character. Temporary damage boost on an enemy hero who recently defeated an ally. Increases the target detection on the target as well. So I'm not sure how that works. But temporary damage boost on an enemy hero who has recently defeated an ally. So he could kill anyone else who's killed your people. And you have Kaioken and Super Saiyan, which I'm not sure how that stacks because it says use Kaioken to power up your active skills, but then your actual transform thing is Super Saiyan. He is Super Saiyan Goku, not Kaioken Goku. Environmental rage is temporary damage boost. So if one of my teammates die and I could just go and destroy that guy, I'd probably insta kill him. Okay, I think that's like A. Like it looks like he has a Kamehameha when I seen the trailer. He might have like Spirit Bomb. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's fine. Like being able to kill someone after it, and maybe it's like a debuff as long as he's on the field, no matter where you are. It's like maybe like let's say it's like a 10-second debuff. I think that might be enough time for him to just come over and just hit you with the Kamehameha real quick out of nowhere, do a rush attack on you, and then Kamehameha on you. All right, so Android's 18. Let me look at this before I decide. She's a DPS character. Her concept is boost your damage against a targeted enemy with sadistic rush. Hunt down enemy team one by one. Oh yeah. If you hit somebody 4 times, they will now become your assault target, and you just permanently do extra damage against them, or probably like a debuff length of time. But it probably just keeps getting extended the more you keep hitting them. That sounds actually amazing to me, especially in this game of like 4v4 and the map's like kind of big for even 4v4. It didn't look crazy big, but it still looked big enough where not everyone's constantly hitting each other. She seems like she might always end up being like a 1v1. She's probably the best 1v1 character in the game right now for sure, just because of that passive. Like there's not going to be one character who could 1v1 her, hopefully, because that's the whole point of this character, is she's supposed to be the 1v1 character. So that means you have to 2v1 her or be a tank character. Maybe that's the only way. And she could have like a destructive disc or something, but it sounds like she's going to be more like just melee, destroying you, just rushing you down. Zamasu is I know this guy. He's an immortal tank, and I don't know. That just sounds really good, especially when there's not as many healers. You have Krillin, who's not a healer. He's like a debuffer. You have Majin Buu, which heals, but might be pretty hard to heal. And then Gohan might be the easiest healer, so it might be the one that everyone plays. So, like, and he could self heal, and then he could resurrect himself. So it's just like, okay, so he's a tank that already is probably gonna be hard to kill, and then he could resurrect himself and heal himself. That's just S tier. And until anything changes, I don't know. Piccolo. All rush attacks and active skills have super long range. The power of special beam cannon increases the longer you charge it. Use a rush attack on an enemy to his passive is use a rush attack on an enemy to immediately lower the cooldown of your abilities. So as long as you rush attack, you lower all your abilities, including probably special beam cannon, and a special beam cannon is probably your main kill move. And the longer you charge it, meaning if you're having like a teammate help you in the fight and distract them for you, you can destroy them. If you're fighting like the Baron or something, you could destroy that. I think he's gonna be like top A, and it probably could change depending on how much damage he does. I don't know yet with Goku. I can't really understand it yet from Goku, but I mean, in a 4v4 match, it's pretty easy for your teammate to die. So I mean, that probably could be pretty easy to happen. Krillin is next. Krillin is a technical character, which is the support class of this game. Make use of your strong traps and diversions. Then finish off debuff enemies with the Destructo Disc. Place a mark on an enemy to immediately lower the cooldown on your abilities. So I wonder how that mark works. But then it lowers the debuff. So placing a mark on an enemy, which is a debuff, immediately lowers the cooldown of your abilities. And it sounds like your Destructo Disc probably does more damage if they have debuffs. And it seems like all the technical characters can apply debuffs, so maybe like having 2 technical characters wouldn't be that bad if you have Krillin. It didn't say anything about healing on him, so I'm not sure if he heals. But I mean, I don't think he could be that bad. I mean, lowering the cooldown your abilities and depending on how Destructo Disc can be. Hopefully, there might not be one character in D, but I might have a character in C or B. But so far, every character seems pretty good. I hope they don't only have this many characters. They haven't shown any more after this. Vegeta was the last one they showed. They showed that a couple days ago. I think they showed Cooler, Trunks. I think they showed every single one of these in the trailer. So, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then it's a 4v4, so there's going to be 2 missing in each game. And depending on how the meta goes, it could be just the same freaking 4 characters in every game. So we'll see. We'll see. This might be a really early beta, depending on... I think if this game had like 12 or 14 characters, it would be like an actual proper release. Like 12, 14 characters base, and then like 1 extra character for the release. So like 15 or 13. And then just from there, just release a character every month or something. Especially because it's Dragon Ball. Like you could release a character every 2 weeks and I wouldn't even care. And plus it's a MOBA, you know. Let's see. Majin Buu good. So he's technical, so the support of the game. Turn your enemy heroes into a tasty snack with Candy Beam and use to restore your health and your allies' health. And when healing yourself or an ally or debuffing an enemy hero, consume acquired stocks to boost the damage of your rush attacks. Okay, so he could do that every time you heal yourself, you heal an ally, or you debuff someone. You then consume like the candy stocks you have, maybe like every time you turn something to candy and eat them, maybe it gives you a candy stock or something, and you'll increase the damage of your rush attack. So he's a support that could still do a good amount of damage, it sounds like. And I don't know how his heal works, but he sounds very complicated, so I'm gonna put him in B just because right now he sounds like the most complicated of all the characters. I just don't know how his abilities work, but they just sound more complicated than everyone else. Everyone else is really easy. Like, I mean, you just have a passive that heals yourself, and then if you stock enough, you just revive yourself. So you could literally brain dead. You know what I mean? She just fight one single target and you'll do more damage. Okay. Rush attack, so you lower your cooldown, so then you can spam your abilities, and then you could use your rush attack again to spam your abilities, and then hold the button on special beam cannon to do more damage, which is like how every Dragon Ball game works. That allows you to hold it to charge it. And then Goku's just, I mean, like probably has the basic Kamehameha kit and all that stuff. Probably a decent amount of melee moves. Like probably has like 3 to 4 moves per character. It's probably like 4 moves per character, with like 1 being the ultimate, and then like a Kamehameha with like, I don't know, some kind of melee rush move. Because every character has a rush attack. But yeah, he just seems like mad easy. I mean, your teammate dies, so it's a passive that just automatically procs and gives you a damage buff against that person. So you know, it's not I mean like a damage buff and you can go and fight anybody. It's kind of like a fine-tuned one, so that's why I'm probably putting him at the back. Just because it's like only against that person who killed your teammate. I don't think it's every time a teammate dies. I think it's only on that person who killed that teammate. Temporary damage boost on the enemy hero who recently defeated an ally. So yeah, it's only on that specific person. So if your teammate died across the map, it literally wouldn't do anything. You would have to leave across the whole map to go do that. If you're fighting an objective, that won't really help you in that moment. So I think he's at the back of A. He could even be down here. I kind of want to put him down here just because it depends on the damage boost. Now that I'm thinking about it, it really depends on the damage boost. I think it might be B. Just because it's like you don't know how big the map is. Even Pokemon Unite's map's pretty big. You can't really bounce between top and bot over and over again. If he's a jungler, it wouldn't be that bad. Because you can kind of like see who's about to die and then go to that lane. But, yeah. Let's see. Trunks. I'll probably put an S tier. His kit just sounds insane. Continuously launch active skills at overcharge. Take down enemies with hit-and-run tactics. Get a KO or an assist. If you get a KO or an assist, so you don't even have to kill, the God of Destruction enemy hero. So that means there's going to be God of Destruction characters, playable characters, the bosses, and the super bosses. And if you watch the trailer in my other video, you get to see Champa is like a AI boss, like a tower. So one of the towers was like Champa, or at least I thought it was a tower. But yeah, one of them is Champa, meaning one of them could be Beerus, and they probably could still add them as playable characters. But for now, they have them as like also towers. So yeah, and then like the super boss, and then like enemy heroes. So then he resets the cooldown on your 3 active skills, all 3 active skills. So not your ultimate, but your 3 active skills. I guess you have a rush attack, 3 active skills, and an ultimate, which is actually a good amount of freaking skills. That's 5. I think he legally has 4. So that's a good amount of skills right there. So I want to put him in the back of S because I'm not sure if it's just like a Champa on both sides. I don't really know how the map really works yet. This is weird. This is like the weirdest beta I've ever played, where they refuse to show any more information than like the 1-minute trailer and like these very vague character breakdowns. I don't know why Bandai does this a lot. They're very vague on everything. All right, so Cooler is a tank. He also is probably going to S tier until otherwise he just seems very OP. So concept: use Imperial Retaliation to go for a counterattack. Your powered up active skills will be a cut above the rest. So I guess you're powered up if you have this active, the Imperial Retaliation, it gives you immune to all. Your next skill will be an enhanced retaliation status, meaning it'll just do something else. It'll probably either have another effect, or it'll just be more damage. Either way, that's really good because it says applies immune to all to you for a short time when activated. When an enemy hero lands an attack during immune to all, your next skill will be enhanced retaliation status. It might be an ability that then procs it because it's a passive. But I'm still going to put him at S. I think he might be better than Trunks. I don't think he's better than Zamasu, and I don't think he's better than 18. And then Trunks could be insane. You know what I mean? Who knows? You know? I think he's just like the best healer. I mean, really, you don't have to do anything. You just stand next to your teammate. Or he's the best like technical character. I mean, he's just easy, right? Like the easiest. Whenever a healer is the easiest at the beginning of a game's lifespan for a MOBA, they're just the best. And especially when they are reliant on just sticking to somebody like a carry. And so you could be a pocket for somebody. In a 4v4 thing, when one person is meant to just keep one person as the hyper DPS, like imagine Kid Gohan just sitting on top of an Android 18 one-shotting you. You're getting 2v1 and insta-dying every time. They get a defense boost, so they're harder to kill, and a speed boost. Or wait, no, I think he gets a defense and speed boost. Stick close to an ally hero for a certain amount of time to gain both a defense boost and a speed boost. And it says, oh, okay, and then grant your ally an attack boost. So you're tankier and faster, and your teammate does more damage. So I think he's just going to be here. I think he might be the bottom of S, and he could be A. I could put him A, but I think he's like at the top of S. I think he's the best technical character. I think she's the best attacker. I think these two are just great tanks. But let's see. I think he's like the best supporter, and he's also a good attacker. I think Piccolo could be insane too. Honestly, all these characters, at least by concept, could just seem good. But like, who knows? They haven't shown any of the abilities. You know what I mean? So like, they could be just randomly terrible because the abilities don't are weird. Like sometimes devs will make the base kit good, like the passive and like their health threshold and this and that, and then they literally make their like Kamehameha like. They'll make their Kamehameha probably like delayed by 3 seconds because the rest of their kit is so good, which makes then the character terrible. You know what I mean? Because they're thinking like, well, how to counterbalance making their passives and all this amazing by making their abilities weak. And you're just like, all right, bro. You know what I mean? Like, okay. I mean, I guess it's like a teeter-totter balancing, but I don't know. A give and take, but let's see. Keep hitting an enemy with active skills to boost your endurance. Push your enemies around with forced movement. And then when below 50% of your health, gain a shortened cooldown effect. That's your passive. So when you're below 50% health, you have your cooldowns more often. Every time you're using your active skills, it says to boost your endurance. So I'm guessing you get tankier when you use your skills. And then push your enemies around with forced movement, meaning he has like a knockback or something. Which is weird that they're saying it like, oh my gosh, like he's the only character with knockback. You know what I mean? Like, I guess. I mean, I guess that's a cool concept. You know what I mean? I don't know, like forced movement. You know, I guess. I would have to see that one, but I think he's like behind Krillin. I think he's ahead of him because he's a healer. I think he's behind. He's definitely behind Piccolo. I'm not sure if he's behind Krillin. He's short on cooldowns though, because Krillin has to put a mark on you. All you have to do is get him to 50% HP, and he's a tank, so he's meant to just tank XP, HP or damage too. Because he's every time he uses his skills, he gets more tank. He gets tankier. So he's using his skills when he's low HP. He can use his skills more often to keep himself alive longer, and hopefully the Gohan or if Boo's good. Mid beta, I'll probably make another tier list where I'm like moving everybody around. But for now, let's do it like this because I know Boo heals. I don't think Gohan heals. I really wish they showed you their dang kit. I don't know what they're doing, but whatever. This is gonna be the tier list from now. All right. Well, until I literally get to actually see what's going on in the game. I don't want to like do too much. It's just like based on at least the concept and the passive. And then obviously when they get to Super Saiyan, anyone with like a transformation probably gets even stronger stats than any other base character. That's probably how it's gonna be. You know what I mean? Other than like what would be the point of me going Super Saiyan at level 7? You know, it's probably like before Super Saiyan, they're like slightly weaker than like a Piccolo or anybody else. But if when they finally hit level 7, he's way stronger than them. You know what I mean? So it's like you're giving up your early game for the late game, and then Piccolo and them are like you're giving up your late game for the early game, but you're probably still not as bad at late game as them, but they're probably just like not as bad early game as them. You know what I mean? Type of thing. It's just one's better late game, one's better early game. So you can't fill your whole team with unless they're all the ones you on your team, unless all the super transformation characters are terrible. You know what I mean? But we'll see. But yeah, that's the tier of this video. I hope you guys like that, and I'll see you guys later.